So, what is the importance of critical thinking? Well, critical thinking is the ability to think clearly, logically, rationally, and includes the ability to engage in certain processes of thinking which are reflective and independent. It's not a matter of just building up knowledge, of acquiring knowledge over time. It's very much about the teacher starting to make connections and to develop an understanding of consequences, deduce consequences from actions in order to solve problems. So it's not about having a good memory. It's about having a good ability to reason and to understand. So someone with critical thinking skills, good critical thinking skills, is somebody who can understand connections, logical connections between ideas rather than just facts, and somebody who can also construct and evaluate arguments in relation to those logical connections. They're also someone who can identify flaws in thinking, where there is a lack of consistency in terms of thinking about experiences and reasoning through things. And it's therefore very much about problem solving and being able to think systematically enough to solve problems which are being experienced. Someone who can think critically is also somebody who can identify the importance and the relevance of the ideas that they have and the ideas that others have in relation to their experience. And they can also reflect on their own justification for their beliefs and values about teaching. So we can see then that critical thinking is actually a very important thing. The 21st century needs people who can think much more globally and with a greater understanding and application of knowledge. And the teacher is somebody who is a significant impactor in this new global thinking. This new 21st century global perspective about critical thinking and therefore about reflective practice does suggest that what we need as teachers are very flexible thinking strategies, flexible approaches to understanding things, intellectual skills which can adapt and change, integrate, and also be very diverse in terms of using sources. Critical thinking also enhances language skills. Being able to think clearly and systematically does involve the need to express ideas to ourselves and to others. And critical thinking also promotes a good level of creativity, because we have to come up with new solutions to problems as critical thinkers, and that can actually mean that we do need to be very creative in the approaches that we take. Critical thinking then takes a very significant role in terms of how we evaluate ideas and how we select the best ideas in order to take forward and drop those ideas which are not working. Teachers need to be able to justify also the thinking that they're using and the values which underpin the decisions they make. And critical thinking, therefore, has a number of tools in relation to the process of self-evaluation. These can be written tools, or they could just be verbal. It is, of course, therefore, a very rational and intentional cognitive skill that the teacher needs to develop. And it's why advanced thinkers are good at critical thinking, while the uncritical thinker is not able to engage cognitively with this level. The key characteristics, therefore, are about rationality, about integrity, about reflection, and about being able to evaluate. It's about scientific reasoning to an extent. It's also very logical. And part of being intentional then is about seeing how things can combine to make sense for us as thinkers. How do all the connections come together for us as a critical thinker?